Good afternoon, or should I say good evening, Ms. Watson. Thank you for allowing me some time to interview you. So the questions I have gathered will deal with curriculum and how you contribute to curriculum and what is done within your school district. So as we get started, just go ahead and give me a little background information about yourself.
Hi, good evening. Well, I have been in education for almost 25 years. The first 17 years, I served as an elementary teacher for grades. I've taught grades second all the way to fifth. And the remainder of my career has been in gifted education. Well, I serve as kids in grades 3 through 8.
Okay. If you will, share with me what your teaching philosophy is and how you incorporate it into your daily classroom lessons.
My teaching philosophy is very simple. Um, I feel that each child should experience some form of success each day. And in order to make that happen, I incorporate different teaching strategies within my classroom settings to make sure each child has some type of success, whether that's with peer grouping or well, since I have a smaller class size, I can do one-on-one instruction. I can serve a role as more of a facilitator than a regular classroom teacher. They get to choose different projects or how they want to accomplish different projects in my classroom settings as well. So with that being said, and allowing them to choose the type of project they want to do, or better yet, they feel more comfortable with doing, it ensures them a better chance of experiencing success.
Now, so not to say that gifted education is set aside or apart from the regular education setting, um, but is there a way that you plan and structure your lessons to ensure that they meet the curriculum standards and engage the students?
So all of my lessons are aligned with gifted standards, Alabama gifted standards, as well as the core standards. So when I plan anything, my standards are going to align with regular standards that their teachers do. I just implement it or carry it out in a more innovative way, I guess you can say.
Okay, so is it safe to say that whatever the general education teachers are teaching, um, you somewhat uh, provide the same instruction but in a different, more engaging way?
Exactly. Like we may not be doing multiplication or finding the main idea type of activities in my classroom, but they're involved in a higher order thinking process, more in-depth problem solving,
All right,
more project-based type of learning.
and so along those lines, can you provide an example of a particular successful lesson that you've taught?
Well, right now, or for the past couple of years, my students have been deeply involved with STEM projects. So each week they have some type of STEM project or project-based learning project where they have to, well, I start by giving them a problem and they have to either work independently or work with a peer partner to try to solve that problem. And within that process of solving the problem, they have to figure out ways to improve their designs. So like I said, it's more of a higher order thinking process. And while they're working, I'm walking around monitoring, offering assistance, but not really, I hate to use this phrase, spoon feeding them information. I would rather for them to figure it out on their own. And if they get off track, try to guide them back. But ultimately, it's going to be left up to them to figure out how to solve the problem.
Okay, thank you. Um, so there's a lot of collaboration among the students as well as you and the regular education teachers, when it comes to, I guess, teaching the kids the standards?
Well, most definitely between me and the students. With regular ed teachers, since I pull them out for approximately 3 to 4 hours once per week, it's more so if a teacher comes and asks for assistance in different activities that they can incorporate in their classrooms, I will give them activities or fix up centers for my gifted kids to utilize. Let's say if they get done with their assignments early, is that type of collaboration that I have with regular ed teachers.
Okay. And technology, that's something more and more that this next generation has actually been born into, and I know it's being incorporated into the classroom a lot more. So can you provide an example of how you have incorporated technology or innovative practices into your teaching?
Well, one thing the kids love to do is coding, and we have different robots that they code. So they either can use their iPads or the Chromebooks to write coding programs and then upload those coding programs into different software to see if their code actually works. Um, oh wow. We have some Code X microbits that also goes with Python coding that my kids also do. Ooh, um, we have something called Spiral Boats that they can program to go through mazes or design their own mazes, which is also a form of coding. Um, More simplified technology, each session that I do begins with Kahoot. And instead of me always building the Kahoot, I allow the kids to design Kahoots and and they'll compete against each other. Well, not. I go to 5 different schools. So let's say I will have one elementary school design a Kahoot for another elementary school and so forth like that, just so they can get involved with, showing me what they understand, what they still need help with, that type of things. But when it comes to my sessions, we are deeply involved in technology, probably 95% of the time. There's hardly any paper pencil type of activities I do with them,
Okay. Hands-on.
most definitely.
All right. And one final thought. Where is it you would like to see, I guess, curriculum go with technology and enhancing the curriculum development or the planning of curriculum? Where exactly would you like to see that in the next few years?
Well, with the way society is evolving, I don't think it's going to really there's not going to be an option but to involve technology. Yes, kids have Chromebooks and they have tablets, but I think if we somehow allow them to learn the programming of how those things work and let them come up with programs to develop that type of software and that type of material, that would help further them more than just giving them a tablet or giving them a computer and say, complete this assignment. I think kids need to understand how things work. That way they can have different avenues that they can use later on in life. Like, maybe not all my kids are going to go to a 4-year college. Maybe some of them are going to have a technical job. And if they have a background of knowing how machine works or how to program a machine to do work, they would be further ahead. So I would like to see more more activities or more courses offered along that line, Python programming or Scratch coding, something like that. And the kids are already doing it anyway with video games. They just don't quite understand what goes into it. So I think we should be teaching them that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Mrs. Watson. It's been a pleasure speaking with you this evening.
Thank you. Have a great evening.